Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another Monday here on AFP Films. I got a couple different things that I'm going to talk about here in this video. First thing I'm going to address is Theme Week. We decided we're going to do Theme Week every other week because originally it was supposed to be every week a different theme, and we didn't have an idea until like late Sunday, I think, was when we came up with the idea for a theme, but we didn't talk about it anymore. And by the time Monday came around, I had already recorded my video and put it up, and so we just decided, well, we're going to ahead and keep it every 2 weeks. So this week's theme you're going to see all week is talking about school, and I know last week Etienne did school on Thursday, so he gets to do it a second time around. Oh, Etienne. I just love saying that name. Anyway, so one of the things I'm going to kind of address here is school. I'm a high school graduate. I go to college now. What do I want to say here? I'm in classes Monday through Thursday. All night classes. My Wednesday class is a 5-hour class. It's supposed to start at 5 and end at 10, but it's a biology class. It's like 3 or 4 hours of class in a lab, but actually it's about 2 hours of class and a lab. The teacher has not kept us past 9:30. He has kept us to 9:30, but no later than 9:30 in the past. Tonight's my Monday night class. It's an English class, which actually is called Freshman Comp 1, I believe. I hope. I don't know. I'd have to look at my schedule, and I'm not going to be bothered by going and finding that. Anyway, so, that's just, this semester, I end December the 9th is when my schedule says I end, but the teachers say that depends on when they get their finals done, when they get everything finished and all that. So, I'm not going to really argue with that, and there's not a whole lot for me to talk about with school. I'm sure Tessia and Etienne and whoever else in this channel is in high school still probably has more to talk about because they're in band. I know Tessia is, and that's a lot of band, Tessia. Lot of band. I don't ever remember going to band practice like that. I can remember we used to practice an hour and a half at the most every day for marching band when I was in high school. And here I am talking about old high school stuff. I'm not even in high school anymore. What am I bothering with? But another thing I kind of wanted to address in this video today is yesterday, as everyone should know, if you don't, you're stupid. Sorry, but that's my take on it. Yesterday was the 10th anniversary of 9/11. I can remember 10 years ago, I was an 8-year-old third grader. I had already been at school for, God, I don't know how long. I mean, that day, it went like just a regular day. Nobody said anything, but throughout the day, as the attacks kept going on, and around the time the first tower collapsed, I can't remember if that was 2 World Trade or 1 World Trade that collapsed, but about the first time that the first tower collapsed, kids were being pulled out of school, and I can remember we had 20 to 40 kids in my 3rd grade class, and by the end of the day, only 10 to 15 of us were left. Kids were just pulled out all day long. Security down here was amped up a lot. The sheriff's department was put on high alert because near me is an ammunition plant for the Army, and I'm not going to kind of talk too much about that, but you can kind of imagine the kind of security that was amped up that day because of a military thing being here where I live. But one of the things that I can remember the most is leaving school, and there not being any kind of airplanes except for one AWAC aerial surveillance aircraft. That was the only plane. I live 3 hours north of Dallas, and Dallas has 2 large international airfields. They have DFW and Dallas Love, and we always get airplanes from that. No airplanes that day. I live a few hours southeast of Oklahoma City, nothing out of Will Rogers. I live a few hours east of Fort Smith, Arkansas, nothing out of Fort Smith or Little Rock or anywhere over there. You know, I mean, that was just kind of eerie for there not to be any kind of airplanes except for that one lone plane. There's even a little airport here. There's always a plane flying around the same exact time every day. But, you know, I mean, 10 years ago, I was 8. What would I remember from that day but a couple of minor things? And, you know, being a kid, nobody understood. I mean, look at the kids that President Bush went and read to. They didn't understand. They were 7-year-old first graders. So, you know, that's just kind of one of those things that now that it's in the history books and the older you get, you kind of understand it more. And it's a thing that it's kind of shocking that it's been 10 years. I mean, you look at it and you just kind of look at it and you're like, you look at the Ground Zero. For years, that took years and years to clean, and now it's kind of coming back to life. They're bringing up the, I call it the New World Trade Center because that's basically what it is. I don't know the official name for it. I've heard people call it Freedom Tower. I've heard it called the World Trade Center. I've heard it called so many different things by so many different people. But, you know, you look at Ground Zero now and you think that 10 years ago, like over 2,000 people died there? And I mean, you know, 10 years ago, 3,000 people lost their lives over various things. 343 firefighters were killed in the World Trade Centers, or Trade Center, I forget all the details. And I'm trying to say this and I don't know how I want to word this. One of the aircraft that I think the passengers were the bravest was United 93, the flight that actually fought back. They came up with the idea to try to take over the plane again and try to, I don't know what their plan was if they got a hold of the plane. I guess try to land it or something. I mean, there were 40 some odd people on board. 33 passengers, 4 hijackers, and 7 crew members. The pilots were killed. The pilots were the first ones killed. That left, what was it, like, I think 37 people, including the flight attendants, minus the hijackers. And out of those 37 people, every one of them took anything that they could. They used the carts that the flight attendants use on the planes. They used glass bottles. They used anything they could get their hands on to attempt to fight these people. And I think that they were some of the bravest for what they attempted to do. And, you know, I'm not saying that the firefighters in New York, everybody that did what they could that day, they were the bravest people on the face of this earth. And that's my take on it. Argue with me if you want. Last thing I want to talk about on this channel, because this video is getting pretty long here. I'm running into 9 minutes now. We did create a Twitter. I will put that link in the bar below there, you know, down there. And I'm trying to get my hand in the shot. It's down there, wherever it is. Down there, up there, wherever from my iPhone. I don't know where it's at. Anyway, I created the Twitter. We all came up with the idea. So, well, not everybody. Somebody said something about we should have a Twitter. And I was like, well, I'll create it. And it took me all day to create the crap. But I'm the moderator of the Twitter. Follow it. I'll put the link down below. I don't know, with this new Twitter, they've edited the links and stuff, so you may have to edit the link a little bit. But